we're back. 5 minutes or more. We've been going a little bit longer.
Sorry, friends.
We've been posting stuff on YouTube. Go look it on YouTube. You can see the whole video there. But we're going to talk today about how to implement some sort of, I say exercise program, but what I want to say is like movement program.
Yeah.
If you have chronic pain.
Movement is exercise.
Movement is exercise. I know, but I feel like the general public doesn't think of things as exercise unless it's like you're sweaty and you're exhausted by the time you're done.
Which, like, I'm on a like a
crusade. You're on a tear.
I'm on a crusade about this lately because it has like the fitness industry has like messed with us and our perception of like what exercise is.
Yeah.
And like the guilt around that people have that their exercise doesn't look like what they think it's supposed to look like.
Yeah. So.
And I think that's deterring people from engaging in movement and exercise the way they want to, and that's fulfilling to them because they think it has to look a certain way, and so then it's not perfect, and so they don't do it.
I agree. I think there's this very all or nothing thought process when it comes to exercise, and it's almost like if my exercise can't look like what I perceive the pinnacle of exercise to look like, then what's the point of doing it at all?
Yes.
And I think we miss out on the benefits of small amounts of exercise or movement that can be so helpful but hasn't been celebrated in our
moderate
society.
Intensity, like
stretching.
Yes.
like
lifting weights, like if that's something you want to do, like it doesn't need to be like HIIT training every day that you don't enjoy. It doesn't need to be running if you don't enjoy it. It doesn't need to be walking if you don't enjoy it. Like there's different ways to get movement into your day and exercise into your day that is beneficial to you, and it doesn't need to look the way you probably think it needs to look.
So
sorry.
That's okay. Erin's getting upset. Erin's getting like feisty. And so I think what I start with, I usually ask my patient, what is an activity that you'd like to do? Or even function, like what are you having a difficult time doing? Is it like I can't walk for 15 minutes before my pain increases? Okay, so then we have to have a discussion a little bit like, well, what do you mean by your pain increasing? What's a safe amount of pain to feel and for how long? And so if someone has chronic pain, generally if their pain is going up a little bit during an activity, as long as it comes back down again within a certain time frame, and that time frame is individual. For some people it's within 2 hours, for some people 24 hours of having a little bit of an elevated pain level is okay, it's safe, or even 48 hours, that's fine. But having a good understanding of what's safe for your body to do and what won't cause further pathology or further damage.
I think this is really valuable. Talk more about that. And like, I find that a lot of people that have chronic pain need that.
Okay, say more.
Like your traffic lights.
Okay, so when it comes to like chronic pain programs, we know that a body needs to move. We know that if your nervous system is already upregulated, so if you haven't moved in a certain way for a long period of time and your nervous system is on the lookout because it's trying to protect you and it might be overprotecting you, and you do this activity, even if you've only increased, even if it's 5 minutes of walking, we know that no damage has happened to your tissues in that time, right? But your pain levels can still go up. The pain experts will say things like pain lies. Pain's not an accurate depiction of how much of tissue pathology or the damage or harm, right? So while you might still feel hurt, you might still feel pain while you're moving, you haven't done any additional harm to your body. And it's learning that balance, because if we do nothing, we won't get any results.
Right.
So you have to find a way to keep moving that might cause still some pain, but an acceptable level of pain that's going to progress you further forward. And so we use a traffic light system at our clinic where if you do exercise and your pain goes up, as long as it goes up a tolerable, reasonable amount, and it comes back down within 24 to 48 hours, depending on your issue, I don't really care that your pain went up during the exercise. In fact, we would say that that's fine, and you would potentially be actually ready to increase by 10% more. If you did an activity and we made a wrong calculation and we got you to do maybe too much and your pain lasted, for longer than that time frame, then we might say, it's more than 48 hours to come back down to baseline. We'll say, ooh, you know what, that's yellow light. It hasn't done any damage, but you're going to be more uncomfortable in that situation. And some personalities are fine with that. Stay the course. Don't increase your exercise.
And it will make you not want to necessarily engage with that activity again if it lasted for like 5 days.
But not necessarily any more damage.
No.
Right? It's hurt but not harm. Now, if we do way too much and like you're out of commission, you're into a full flare up, you can't get out of bed for a week, you've lost flexibility, like mass amounts of flexibility, that would be red light. We did too much. Stop that exercise plan, readjust, use your pain, like your toolbox for pain management, all of the things that you should, your ice, your medications, heat, stretches, those types of things. And that's how we kind of move forward. And then when we do progressions, it really does tend to be 10%. And people, I find, don't like to do 10% progressions, because if you're able to walk for 10 minutes, and I say, okay, it's time to progress, that's 1 minute more of walking. You don't increase your walk to 20 minutes. You don't increase it to 45 minutes, which a lot of people like to do. But this goes back to what our perceptions are of what proper exercise is. I should be able to walk for whatever amount of time,
and
right?
This is a battle, not even with chronic pain patients, because like, let's say you're returning to an activity that you haven't done in a really long time. I talk to them about the traffic lights, because they'll say to me, like, how do I know when I'm good to go to like the next level or like the next plan that we have for them? And I'll talk them through the traffic lights, and I say, it's not just pain, it's physiological load, and you need to stay in a progressive. We want to overload you. So progressive overload is how we create change. And so if we never progressively overload, we're not ever going to see change. But we need to keep that below that physiological flare-up line.
Yeah.
And people hate staying under the line.
They don't like progressing as slowly as they should. We call those people the boom and busters. Like, they'll do too much, and then we have to wait for them to recover, and then they'll do too much. And like, this recovery it's annoying for us. It's gonna be annoying for you.
Not like
Yeah. So
I think that's valuable for everybody, even if you don't have pain. It's like, I'm on the running thing lately, because I've had a lot of patients complaining to me about lack of progression with running. But if you go for a run and you're in agony for 5 days after, like, that is not helping you meet your goal of going to run again. Same thing if you go do burpees and you're sore for 5 days after. Like, we need to really think about, like...
Or you overstretch something.
At yoga.
Yeah. We got, like, competitive yoga happening sometimes, right?
So I think just, like, listening to your body...
Yeah. And don't be scared to do movement.
Correct.
Don't be scared to do movement. We will find the right movement for you. We can find the right movement. We can gradually introduce it. If you can't, like, there's so many ways to break down exercises. If you want to ride a bike, but you can't ride a bike, can you do, like, a bike movement lying on your back? Do you know what I mean? Like, there's so many ways that you can break down exercise that you enjoy into doable
chunks,
mini chunks. It can happen.
And just, like, pick something you love, because if you don't like it, you're not going to stick with it. And you're not going to get the benefits from movement and exercise.
Yeah. We could talk about this for a long time. If you guys have questions, reach out and we'll do another video. But we'll find ways to get people to move.